Hello, my name is Lucas. This is a bit of lit. I am here to talk about The Evening and the Morning and the Night by Octavia Butler. It's a short story, kind of like a novelette, really. It's a little bit long, but not very long. I found it in the short story collection Bloodchild, published in 1995. And it's just another winner for me. Octavia E. Butler is very quickly becoming at least my favorite short story writer. Apparently she's better known for her novels, and I just can't even imagine, like, she's so good with short stories that having a novel and like having something brilliant sustained for so long, I'm looking forward to it in due time. Anyway, the morning or the evening and the morning and the night is a story about disease and disability and not fate, agency, maybe, like how much control you really have, I guess. And it follows this character named Lynn who has DGD, which is Duria Goad disease. And this is a disease that comes from a miracle drug that cures all cancers, which sounds great. However, it has the unfortunate side effect of giving people DGD because the drug sort of forms a symbiotic relationship, I guess, or just it becomes attached to the DNA, altering it permanently. And this disease is a horrific consequence of this drug, wherein once you hit middle age, that's usually when the disease starts to come up and you feel like you're trapped in your own skin and you do a lot of violent self-harm, and this is called drifting, and yeah, it's hereditary, a dominant gene. It can be passed down from the father and the mother, and it does depending on who gave it to you, or if both parents gave it to you, there are different properties to it. But it's based on a couple different diseases. For example, Huntington's disease, phenylketonuria, BKU, and Leishman disease. And she's sort of fused all these together to create this disease and use it as a focal point to talk about, from what I can tell, agency for people with disability or with disease, because to try and keep this disease under control, they're fed a certain type of food, which sometimes is a dog biscuit, basically dehumanizing in that sense. Also, once it becomes getting closer to being a problem, people need to wear basically an indicator to show doctors and everybody else, like, this person has DGD. And this helps doctors know not to give certain certain drugs that might have something that will react with the patient, that will cause them to sort of lose their mind and harm themselves. There's nothing actually wrong with the people until the disease starts to take effect, but these people with the disease are looked down upon so much and so heavily and sort of ostracized in a respect. And Lynn is a woman whose both of her parents passed it down to her. Now, the first generation of people that took this miracle drug were not affected. It's the children who were. And they did everything they could to try and keep her from, suffering this fate for as long as possible, because it feels sort of inevitable that eventually this disease is going to take you one way or another. So they, Lynn wants to eat whatever she wants to eat because she feels like it doesn't matter. It's only a matter of time, now or later. And for her, because it's still going to happen, she feels like just come what may, sort of. Her parents take her to a ward where people like this are treated. People with DGD are treated, basically to scare her. This is what's going to happen to you. And yeah, I mean, I just feel like there's just so many things to pull from that. Everything that Octavia Butler has written that I've read, I just feel like so many. She's just got it. There is this looking down upon people, and I think the story is like kind of about HIV, because this was, I don't know when she actually wrote the story, but that was a big thing in the 80s and even the 90s, and still going on today, of course, but and throughout her life at the end. But I do think there are some parallels there with how people with HIV were treated and how people are treated in this story. There is another issue with this disease that Lynn has that also affects her sort of ability to act and change the course of her life. And that is because she's a woman and both of her parents gave it to her, or passed down this gene. Not gave it to her, I guess. That maybe is a little strong. She has this ability, like her pheromones are stronger and some other things, and she can basically attract people to her and get them to do things that she wants to some extent. And they go to this place, her and Alan, who is her partner, who is now I'm forgetting. His last name is Chi or CHI or something. It's like an Igbo word for some. I regret bringing that up because I can't remember, but it felt important. I should have written it down. So sorry. But anyway, Alan, there's a power dynamic here where she has the power because she believes in this relationship, and Alan, is affected by the pheromones and starts to believe in it more because of the pheromones. So she can't control using this, which means that she can't control, she does control Alan in a way, but she can't control not controlling Alan in this way. She can't make herself stop. So how much is her love really love? And, there's just different angles of this agency thing going on, and I love it. And there's also this woman, Beatrice, who's at another ward where they treat people in a different way so that they're not so destructive, although we do see some heavily gruesome things in the story, but they can sort of be creative, maybe channel their energies in a different way. And Lynn just cannot stand her. And it seems largely that she doesn't like Beatrice, because Beatrice has the same issue where her parents both passed down the gene to her. And she doesn't want to be like Beatrice, but she sort of feels resigned to it. There is some ambiguity about whether or not there is some agency for these people. Of course, I am not great at describing these kind of things, but yeah, she just feels like she doesn't have agency in her life. She doesn't have agency in her relationship, and she feels like she's going to be like this person she can't stand. It's a great story. I recommend it. I can't possibly do it justice. So check it out. Let me know what you think.